Okay, let's look into file upload in Nest.js. They provide really good decorators that is basically a wrapper for Multer. So if you go to the documentation, it's under techniques. I think my PC is just frozen right now. Yeah, but anyway, if you look into this example, this basic one, they define a route. This should be inside the controller, obviously, and they use these two decorators. They use interceptor and this function, the file interceptor, and the upload file decorator. This basically uses Multer behind the scene. Multer adds an object to Express, which Nest.js is built upon. So, and Multer puts an object inside the request in Express, and these decorators just gets this data that Multer adds, which basically the form data that the user should send at the end. So you can read the documentation and to watch this video. I will try to just add more information and do more things, like I want to store the files in our local system. I want to use the disk storage from Multer. I want to store the files like 50 pixels, for example, for images, 50 pixels by 50 pixels, 100 by 100, 200 by 200, and then the image itself, the full width and height, the original width and height. I will store its information inside the database, and I will expose links for it, so the front-end developer can, if there is a small section like the nav bar, the front-end developer can expose the 20 by 20 image. If the engineer want to show the full image inside the website, they can show the original one. So I'll do these kinds of things that we see in a lot of websites, and I might do task scheduling to clean the images that no one is referencing inside the database. So maybe the user uploaded an image, we will store its information, return the ID for the front-end developer to resend it with the post, and but maybe the user changed his mind, so he will choose an image, then choose another one. The first one is inside our database, inside our file system in the server, but not referenced. So I might use task schedule to delete these kind of files, since they might like in very long time, they won't be that much, but yeah. But I think it's a good example to work on the task schedule. To start, but as I said, you can't just read the documentation, but I'll try to give more useful examples, or at least do some things that you don't see others do. So the first thing, let's install some packages, and we will go back and do the code. So the packages I will install, npm install at nest.js / platform express. The second one, I will name the images inside the database using UUID. So this is the name. So just, okay, 1 second. So I will store the original name of the image, the original size, no, the original name, the size, the created at, updated at, and I will store the new name. The new name, I need to make it unique, since I will store it inside a folder called public inside our project, and I will expose this folder. As you can see, I was testing here, so I have public inside of it a folder called uploads, and I will expose it so the user can put in the browser the link for the API /uploads / the image name, and they will get it. Or they can put the image name / maybe, for example, or no, so /uploads / 50 by 50 / the image name. They will get the image which is resized to 50 by 50. I might use sharp for that, but for now let's just not waste our time. So I will install UUID, And to import it probably in TypeScript, I will store its types, which is like definition files. So UID, and I will install Multer, since I will use the disk storage function, the disk storage function they provide with the decorators. So this example is not in the documentation, but it's easy to do. But yeah, so types Multer as well for the import. I think this is good. Okay, I will leave it to install. And another thing is I will create a module called files. I will put inside it an entity, a controller, and a service. So I will stop the server. I don't need it. It's laggy, but anyway. So nest generate. I'm off for module. So it will ask me about the name. We'll just wait. So the name of the modules is files. I think I should name it file, since all our modules are singular. Anyway, so another thing I will generate is the controller, which is also called files. I will stick with the same name. And as usual, nestjs will create a folder and put everything with the same name in it. Okay, so the name of the controller will be files as well. It's really slow. So another thing is services. Service. So I will generate a service. Will also be named files. We'll just wait until it asks me. So files. And the final thing, which I will do manually, if I go to files, I have to create the files.entity.typescript. So files.entity.typescript, and we go to the post entity and just copy paste to make things faster. I think this is already like 4 minutes, I think. No, let me let me just copy everything to the top, put it here, and start renaming. I hate doing this because usually I mess something. So I don't need this. And this is the file entity, and it will extend the generic entity. So I will have created and updated that. I will call it files. I will remove this variable. I won't inject the repository here since I don't need it, and I won't have a constructor either. So let me delete it. So I will have a primary key, which is always optional. Yes, I will have a column length 3. It's not unique. I'll remove unique. I will remove the as defined on create, and this optional update. It's always a string, and this is our custom asynchronous validator, which I don't need. It will be called original underscore name. So this is the original name. Yeah, obviously. And one thing I will do, I will go to the post entity. Oh no, I copied everything, so I don't need to go there. I will go to the is empty rule. So these kind of things, I will extract them from the file the user uploaded. So I won't need them. I won't need them in the body of the request. So if someone tried to send like bad data, this will handle it. So it's always empty. Okay, so here as well I will remove is defined as optional, and I'll just copy these three here and put them here. Okay. I mean, I'm really sorry, it's very laggy, but I will call this the current name underscore name. So this is the new name, the UUID name. Another thing I will store, I'll remove these relations. I believe I will add a relation with the posts eventually. So join column, it is one to many. Is it? It's many to one. So each user can upload many files, and this file will be linked to a specific post. So I think while we are at it, let's just create this. So yeah, with the user, many to one, and as well for the posts. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. So each file will be referenced by a post, and this will be of type post entity. Yes. And I will just take this, put it here, and here. Change this to post, and post dot files. And I think here we also need to update it to user.files, which we need to add eventually. And the column will be post ID. I know we can get the user ID from the post, but I think it's a better idea to add them. Yeah, and I will expose it, the user ID, and will also expose the post ID. Okay. So I will also add, I will copy this as well. I will put a size. Yeah, and I believe an extension. Yeah, I will put an extension. So this will be called size, and this one type number. So I will remove this column of length 50. This will make it varchar. I will put an integer as a string. So in int, just int. So int, yes. It's a number, not a string. So is number. And yeah, so is empty. Also check that. So I remove this. And the final thing is the extension. So I will copy the current name. I will rename it to extension. Yeah, I think you can get the extension from the current name. So I want to save the extension. Does it matter? Since I can get it from the current name or original name. But you can do that if you want. So this is fine. Let's go to our file entity. This is the usual setup. Go to the files module. So we need to import the module that represents this entity by using the static function from the type rm module, which will retain that module. So type rm module dot for feature. Yes, this will accept an array, and our first argument will be the file entity. I believe the error is yeah, just remove it. It will go away. It's just slow, like usual. Now, if you go to this, if you go to our app module, we need to import this inside the connection. Let me put it here. Oh, nope, not here. But okay, let me just import it. Cut it from here. Put it after the user follower entity. That's it. Save. Now the application will be aware of that. Or this type ORM will be aware of that. Why does it complain argument of just I believe let me close the file, reopen it, it should work. Should not complain at least. It's still complain. I believe it's the same everywhere you go. So if I go to the post module, it should be the same. Yeah. Maybe there is an error here. No, I don't think so. Did I write this wrong? Imports, not import. Okay, my bad. Now we need to go to the user entity and add the files property. So I think as the other things, you can just add one-to-many relation with points to the files entity in both the user and the user and the post. So this would be called files. I think this is a good PME design because if the user can go on a specific route that the front-end engineer should define and see all of his or her uploaded files. So they might want to perform actions with that. I like this idea where I can find all my uploaded stuff in one place. And this is also the file entity. I think I will split this into multiple videos. I think this is like getting a long. I'll name this file and this one also file.user. So let me close Postman. Maybe this will help it not become very slow. And so the users entity are fine like this. I will copy this one and go to the post entity and add it. I'll go after the comments. Yeah, so now the files should be fine, no errors. And let me just remove these. The injectable, the groups, the is defined function, the like entity, and the CRUD groups. and remove one to many, remove repository, and also the comment entity. Now as a test that this works, I will only run the server npm run start. I won't put div, and it should. I believe our npm installs here are finished, which I'll start using in the next video. So I run the server, everything is fine. You can open the database and see the relations. So let me do that, I'll come back. So as you can see, here is the files table, which contains created, updated at, whatever, original name, current name, size, the user ID and the post ID. And here is the ER diagram, which you can see that our relations are correct. Maybe in the next video I can start working on the routes and uploading the image using the multi disk storage.